Hello, I'm Otto and welcome to episode 68 of my Factorio Space Age Guide. So in the last episode we started setting up this ship, we got some power going and set up what our fuel and our coolant and water is going to be like. We also kind of made these little buffers and yeah, that is hopefully going to keep our ship running nice and clean. Well, I don't know about clean, but it's definitely going to keep running. So we need to set up some iron melting and copper melting. So I'm going to set that up for iron over here and copper over here. So we need some foundries. We're going to keep them one space apart. They are going to be making iron ore melting. So for that we need iron ore and we need calcite. So we're going to have two crushers again. Okay, so what do we need? Well, we're going to have an output that will eventually, go do some fun things. So we need some iron ore and we need some calcite. So we do not need the ice in this lane, so the ice will end up just kind of being dumped off over here. Let's see, I want to leave an opening just in case. We probably don't need it. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to need anything to go between these two, but okay, and I'm also the reason why I'm extending this and not just going underground is because we are going to need this for later. We're going to need to add some stuff to this line. Some of the stuff that we're going to have up here will need a dump line, so that is going to be this piece here. Okay, so we need, this is going to be filtered for ice. If I can get it, there we go. And all the ice is just going to be shot down here and dumped off. I thought I upgraded these. Yeah, I want that stuff off as fast as possible. Okay, so similar to the rest, all of these are going to have productivity modules, and we will add some beacons as necessary. So they need to be, let's see, they need to bring in some items. And these need, I think we're going to have, so we'll have the iron coming out here, the iron ore, and this will also get connected to the belt. And this one will be responsible for the calcite. These were copy and pasted, so they're already set up to read and hold all. So I'm going to enable if calcite is less than 300. And this one, same thing, 300 for the iron ore. Okay, so I'm going to copy. I don't think that we're not going to have an easy time doing this. I don't think that we're going to be able to. Let's see. So this would put this on the inside. If I had one over here, that would also put it on the inside. So I can't really have both. But since it's the end of the line, maybe I can set something up to... Yes, I think that I can make this work. Okay, so I'm going to copy a lot of this. Oh, just squeezes in with our pipe too. Perfect. Oh, I also noticed while I was editing that I missed an underground belt here. Good job. Why does this look... It does not look different. I'm just... Yeah. Okay, we're good. Alright, so this one is going to be the oxide. And I think what we can do is if I... Yeah, let's try this out. Hopefully this doesn't get in the way. It shouldn't, because the pipe is going to have us back at least to, you know, certain distance back anyway. So that should be fine. So that should be good to have both of these on. This is going to be on the inside, and now this one is going to be on the outside. And I'm not worried about limiting these. They can just fill up. You know, it's not a big deal. And this can be filtered for metal. Incoming doesn't matter. This is filtered for the oxide, and that is good to go. So we're going to need quite a bit more iron than what this is capable of putting out. So these are currently putting out 141 per second. If we take this, this one is now putting out 2,000, what? 2,500 per second each. That is insane. And don't worry, we're going to use quite a bit of that. So that is the iron. We are going to do the same thing on the opposite side. I'm just going to I'm not going to copy it. We're just going to redo it. Yeah, why not? Help me line it up a little bit better. Change the recipe. These are going to be the copper. Now, why is this not lining up? Hold on. See, I knew something was off. This. There, that's better. Okay, so that means that this line is going to have to at least come down to here. Nope. And this is going to be quite a bit, not quite a bit, this is going to be wider than I was kind of planning for, which is perfectly fine. This is, you know, wait a minute, let's see. Okay, so I need, you know what, another thing that I could have done was I could have also just like left a section here, done the calcite on this side, and just dropped all the extra ice off the side, which is probably what's going to end up happening over here, because we're going to have, yeah, we're going to have a bit of things that we don't want on both. So with this one, we need the one that gives us copper, and the one that gives us calcite. So this one, the ice can just go off the side. Good to go. We are going to have the calcite be on the bottom. Limited. Enable if calcite is less than 300. And for this one, we are going to have a dump line over here. Did I give these? I did do a stack inserter. it's probably not necessary to do a stack inserter for these, for the dump lines, so. I don't think that we will need to add anything from anything that's coming up top, so it would have been fine to leave this, but you know what, let's just match what the other side is doing for the most part, and leave it a little bit symmetrical. I mean, I know it's not perfectly, oh, it is lined up. Okay, never mind. Okay, so this is going to be filtered for iron ore. We are tossing all of the iron ore that we do not need. This one is going to be filtered for the copper ore, and it is going to be limited to 300 as well. Enable if copper ore is less than 300. Sorry, that is going here. So the copper will be on the outside, and the calcite will be on the inside. And we do not have to worry about these. These will provide all the calcite that we need here in the middle. So we don't have to worry about, you know, keeping extra of the calcite to kind of shift in between the different sections. I also kind of feel like I should have had these reversed. Yeah, so I want to have kind of like with like. So this is going to be putting the calcite into the middle. So I actually want, I'm going to cut these. And have it be like that instead. I would rather it chain down like this. Why did we need... Oh, right. So if this is greater than 250, this will just dump everything, which means that these are set up for 300. Did I do the same thing over here? I don't think I did. Oh. Oh, I bet I have to have these reversed. No. Oh, okay, I did set that. Wow. Great memory. Alright, so that is just about it for this section. Everything needs productivity modules. The iron ore is getting dumped, all of it. The copper is going to be enabled if it is less than 300. Calcite is going into the middle if it is less than 300. All of the ice is getting dumped. The oxide is going back onto the main line. Okay, and I think that is it for the bottom section. As for the rest of this empty space, it kind of doesn't matter what you do. You want to wait until the last minute before you like really decide to do anything with that space. You could, for instance, like we're going to be producing way more iron, molten iron than we need. But if you really needed it a little bit extra, you could always add in some more beacons. There's room for 3 beacons here to touch this one over here. I am not going to worry about it. Like I said, this is way more than we will end up needing. Oh, and I guess I need to do something like this as well. Let's see. It's going to be harder because this one is kind of closer. No, we can just do it right here. Okay, so this is going to filter for the iron asteroids. That can be on the outside. The oxide asteroids can be on the inside. Okay, so now that's complete. And we're going to have a little bit of a funky section here. So above each of these, they are going to have... So a lot of our iron stuff is going to be up here. Unfortunately, just the way that I had this set up and the way that this is going to kind of work out, this is going to get in our way whenever it comes to the stuff that needs the carbon. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have... We're going to move it over here. I'm going to have a section here for more carbon to come out on a line, because we are going to have a lot of the carbon-based items that we need lined up right here. The copper will be on this side because it's the easiest, and the iron is going to have the most room. So let's just go ahead and start with the carbon-based, because this one is going to be the most fun. So we need the advanced carbon, because we need a lot of sulfur and we need a lot of carbon. And as far as a return line, that is going to be problematic, but you know what? We're going to figure that out. It'll probably... That's it. There we go. That is going to be our return line. Easy enough. You're going to have one of these. So this is going to be sulfur. Sulfur will be on the right-hand side. This one is going to be carbon. Carbon will be on the left-hand side. And to kind of make sure that both of them are being emptied, this one will get carbon, keeping in with having it on the left-hand side, and this one will get the sulfur to the right-hand side. So we are also going to... We're going to end up using more carbon than we have room for. So like there's going to be a lot more carbon being used. But we don't really want to, like... I don't know. It's a little complicated. So we're going to end up having an underground belt come over here and kind of connect with this. So we're going to have these set up in a way that if we have too much of the carbon, we can dump the excess and build up our sulfur. So I'm going to enable this if carbon is greater than 20. And this is going to be filtered for carbon. And that is the only filtering that we're going to do. So this will be allowed to come over. I actually don't know how far back we need to go. Let's just drag this down some. Oh, so close. If we back this up, we can continue on. There. So this is our dump line, and it is coming down and connecting with this to then be shipped out the back. And the last thing that we need is just incoming. Okay, so we're getting there. All right, so that is going to take care of part 1. I kind of toyed with the idea, and you know what? I still might actually do this. As a matter of fact, you know what? I think we are going to do this. I'm just going to wing it, and we're going to actually do this completely different than what I initially planned. So let's see. I need a chemical plant. And this is more or less going to direct feed. So these are going to go bye-bye. This one is going to go bye-bye. These are not going to be filtered. These can remain filtered. Oh man, we're still going to need to... Okay. I have some ideas. Alright. This is placing onto this side of the belt. Oh, this is going to be fun. So I'm going to have an incoming back here and an outgoing for the asteroid. I know, I love doing, like, changing things on the fly. It's so much fun because I never know how it's going to turn out. But in theory, okay, so this will end up keeping this top line basically full. So if these put it on the bottom side of the belt here, these will never grab them. And at some point, this is not going to be allowed to place anything here. And then this one will end up following. So I need a way to get rid of the I need to get rid of the carbon only on the bottom. And that should do it. As long as this line, this is our main line, as long as the main line is empty enough, which again, we're going to take care of that, then this should work out. Okay, so that means that we can direct insert. Direct insert is always better. And we might have to do some other things because this is going to direct insert all of the carbon. You know what? I think this actually might work out better. Because I can just load this up with sulfur. Okay, so this is going to be creating our coal. We need coal for explosives. That is the most challenging part of this whole process, is getting the explosives. So we have this. Oh, and these need productivity modules. All of these need productivity modules. Okay, so this is going to filter. This is everything going into here via the stack inserter. And you know what? We're going to leave it as a stack inserter because the stack inserters are a little bit faster than the green ones. So that will ensure that everything comes out. Okay, so this is going to get the sulfur in. It's going to get the carbon in. The water is going to be fun. We're going to end up forcing this in here. Oh, please tell me that I can... All right, that works. Whew, okay, so we got there. All right, good enough. I love how that lined up. That was kind of perfect. Now, as for... Okay, so we need to get rid of the carbon. So we're going to have an underground come from here to... That's not good. We're so close. It's right there. Okay, so this is going to insert the excess carbon, right? That's what we need. Carbon. And we're going to do a stack. Okay, we don't have to do a stack. Carbon. Enable if carbon is greater than 20. Yes, 209. It's greater than 20, so that's going to put that on the outside of the belt. That is on now the right side. Not that that even really matters. It doesn't at all, actually. Oh, it does. Okay, so what I'm thinking about, it will matter. These need to be on the right-hand side of the belt, but if we do this, then they are both going to be, they're going to be on both sides of the belt. Rip. Okay, well. We will just have to do the funny little S shape. Okay, that is fine. This is going to get a wire, and I'm going to copy and paste from the other one. Greater than 20. Okay, yeah, we got there. So now we have water for these guys. And as for the explosives... Nope, I need these one more out. going to get in our water here. We are getting in the coal that we need here. So we have water, we have coal, and we just need sulfur. No, we're gonna give this... Oh, do I not have legendary on me? Hold on, we should have legendary productivity modules. 20. I thought I had some on the ship, I guess not. We're gonna do custom, bring me 20. That's gonna be 8 here and 8 here. And that's because the explosives are definitely, probably, in my experience at least, the explosives are going to be one of the most limiting factors that we have. And let's see what kind of beacons we can add in here. So we can add one. Oh, this is perfect. This is lining up way better. Was lining up way better than I had hoped. Okay, is there any way that I can adjust this to now have a beacon? As a matter of fact, even better. Okay, so this is max distance. These have to be here. I cannot adjust these. Oh boy, man, we just keep coming up with different different little situations, huh? Different ways to get this done. Okay, so that is going to be this. We could probably add in some here, and I would definitely, like I said I think I said this in the last episode, so we do have some legendary quality speed modules, and that is going to go here. Basically anything that's touching our explosives. So that should take care of this. The hard part at this point is just going to be getting it onto belts. So we are going to use legendary stack inserters. We're going to have one going to the left, and this one will go to the right. There's a reason why this one is getting a little bit extra from this one, and we will cover that at a later point in time. I don't know where all of this is going to go just yet, so we're just going to assume at some point this is all going to connect. We don't know where. And same thing, we will deal with that at a later point in time. Okay, so that has now covered molten iron, molten copper, and explosives. As for the molten copper, this is going to get dragged all the way down here. We are not going to need any more of like these little collection areas. So at this point, oh, I actually possibly just made a mistake. Okay, I'm going to line this up with the pipe because we need to shift all of this up. I need it to be lined up with these. Every single bit of this is getting cut out. And like that. Thankfully, the pipes lined up. It completely dodged our power. I would not want to have to move any of that. Love the way this stuff was created on the ship. Okay, so that is, oof, that's going to really kind of hinder our ability to make some copper, but you know what? It is fine. I think that we're going to keep this nice and tight. So I'm going to have that over here, this over here. I am done lining up with things. So this one just kind of lined up with all of this. This one does not have to be centered. I'm not worried about it at all. I'm more concerned about having these beacons in this area and then feeding the beacons onto this. This is going to be copper plates. This is going to be copper cable. And this is going to be a lot of empty space. So we're not going to end up using all of the space, as you can see. We will have the ability for extra beacons if necessary. I mean, even in a situation like this, like I could fit one right here just to, you know, kind of show like what's going on. You generally want to try to use all the space. The copper is not a big deal. The copper is the least concerning thing that we have to deal with, so... and this is going to be creating... let's get it close to here. And just for good measure, we'll do 3. So I'm going to copy this and do the same thing over here. Ooh. Cutting it close. Okay, so we also don't know where all of this is going. Is that going to leave me room? Oh, it would have left me room. Okay, well then, fine. You can come back. And if you really wanted to, you could do it like this too. This is technically more aligned. Sorry, this will be a more even distribution. So you have 2 to go on this side for the left side and 2 to go on this side for the right side. This one will place this on the right side. Technically, this one would empty out a little bit faster. Anyways, not a big deal. I am going to put this here. Wow. Squeezing them in wherever we can, right? So that's going to give me 139 copper plates per second. I could probably figure out a way to get another one up here. That's not going to fit. Not a big deal. Okay, that is good enough. We won't need as much of the copper plate anyways. It's mostly the copper cable that we're chasing. And we would be able to fit. So this is 272 per second. We can fit not quite 272 on a belt, so that is good. If we can get this out, which, oof. Yep, we might have just messed up. We might not be able to have this one here. Alright, good enough. Okay, so one more thing. We're going to get a little bit of iron. We're going to need iron. I am not going to be able to squeeze this in here. That would have been so nice if this actually lined up. Yeah, it's fine. We'll have them right next to each other. So one is going to be iron plate and the other one is also going to be iron plate. We also need... So we're going to end up needing to leave room for this to continue on. I don't exactly know where, but somewhere in here. We will need this to continue on for steel. And then these will obviously have a lot of the same stuff that we've had. Productivity modules. They will get output onto a belt similar to this. Okay, so we now have most of the foundations for everything that we're going to need. So in the next episode, we are going to start working on, we're going to set up a lot of the assembly stuff. So we're going to need rockets to make explosive rockets. What do I have? Legendary? Awesome. Unfortunately, none of these will end up getting productivity modules. They can only get speed modules, but that is perfectly fine. We have a good chunk of epic speed speed modules. So the rockets are used to make the explosive rockets, and as you can see, we make 3.75 here, and this one needs 1.87. So we need one of these for every two of these. So the ratio is going to be something like that. We need iron plates, which we have down here. We need explosives, which we have here. That will be this line over here. And this one, all it needs is the yellow rockets, and it needs explosives. So this will also be this line over here. And that is largely why we have this one also dumping onto this line, is because this one is going to be consuming a lot more explosives than the section over here. As far as the middle column, we're going to have yellow ammo, which is also iron plates, and only iron plates. And that makes red ammo. So for the red ammo, we need copper plates, we need steel, and we need yellow ammo. The yellow ammo to red ammo ratio is 1 to 3. One of these for every 3 of these. So we will end up, making, well, it's going to be a 1 to 3 ratio. What can I say? And for the last one, we're going to make railgun ammo. The railgun ammo also needs steel. It needs explosives, and it needs copper cable. The copper cable is probably going to be the biggest limiting factor for this. Maybe the explosives a little bit. And the steel shouldn't be much of an issue. We're gonna have a nice chunky section for steel somewhere up here, which will probably be the piece that is hanging out the farthest. This one is basically done. Like, these are all the components that we need for this, so we just need to figure out how to get the copper cable or the copper plates over to here at some point. The copper cable, getting it up to here is obviously a little bit easier. We can just ride it all the way up. The explosives have to come over here. The explosives also have to come over here. And then, let's see. Iron plates go to here. Iron plates go to here. And then we will need steel. That will be needed for the red ammo and the railgun ammo, and we will start to take care of a lot of that in the next episode. I think we're getting really close to I'm pretty, like, I didn't want to turn this on and start bringing in the asteroid collectors until I knew for sure that a lot of this was going to be in the spots that it is currently in, or that it was in kind of its like final locations. I'm pretty happy with the way that this has turned out. This looks, believe it or not, like this looks not too much like what I had planned on doing. As a matter of fact, I did set these up. All right, ooh, just making sure I have everything connected. Over here, ooh, that's rough. Well, at least I can get one in that will touch both. So yeah, as many beacons as you can squeeze in. That's basically what's going to end up happening here. Okay, that is going to be it for me for this episode. In the next episode, we are setting up a bunch of assembly machines for a lot of this. And even though we have the ability to expand out as far as we want, we're probably going to be a little cramped. I'm going to try to keep this as tight as we can. I would actually prefer to have the builds be bigger. Okay, well, I mean, there's a downside to everything, right? Your ship can only be so long, because at some point your rail guns, which will be at the front of your ship, can only reach out so far, and even while you're moving, there will be huge asteroids that will drift in and clip the back of your ship, regardless of your speed, pretty much. I don't know if I haven't seen anyone do any testing on this, but I'm sure that there's a maximum length that you can make a ship, and most people, I believe, prefer to go wide because the width doesn't really matter as long as you have the ammo to take care of all of the turrets that you have up front. Anyways, so in the next episode, we are going to be making assembling machines with all the parts that we need. That is it for me for this episode. I will see you in the next one, and thanks for watching.